How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is your weekly microdose of encouragement, inspiration, and miracle grow on your potential as a coach. Before we jump in, do me a huge favor. If you've never joined us on a Mentor Monday, here's what we love to do. First, jump into the chat. Let us know that you are here. Tell us where you're joining us from, what you're excited about, what you feel life and momentum on in your life. Also, um, we will give you the slides today. We're going to do everything that we say that we're going to do. If I'm going to ask you to preemptively like this video, because anybody who's joined us knows that we're not going to waste your time. What are we going to do today is we're going to help you grow in your proficiency as a coach. We have a forward mission statement at Life Coach Training Institute. It's proficient coaches, thriving practices. We want to do both. And so anytime that we get together in any kind of whether it's a workshop or if it's in our training or whatever, or on a Monday night, we're always trying to accomplish those two objectives for you and to help you grow your business, grow as a coach, and to be really the best coach that you can possibly be, and to increase your revenue. I want you to have as many clients as you can possibly have. So know that that's what we're going to do. Let me say hello to a few people saying hello to me. There's Joan saying hello from Bakersfield. Justin saying hello from Springfield, Massachusetts. Mina's joining us from Orlando. If you haven't said hello yet, jump inside. Let us know that you are here. Also, do me a huge favor. Like and share this post. That tells Facebook and YouTube that we are doing a good job. And we do. We want to serve you really well. So that also gets us out in front of more aspiring coaches that are out here in the world. Now, what are we talking about today? Well, we are actually in our third week of our series called Coaching Through the Fog. And this is a really important series because sometimes new coaches aren't really able to make a distinction between when their clients are in the fog or something else that they think might be an actual issue inside of the client that is not really the issue that's at hand. So what we're doing is that we started out a couple of weeks ago talking about the 4 types of fog that your clients are going to be experiencing. And what we've been doing each week is we are showing a coaching approach for those particular areas. What we're going to try to help you coach today are clients who are emotionally checked out. And let me say hello to Loretta. Good to see you, Loretta. All right. Well, you guys keep those comments coming in. We're going to jump into the actual training right now. But before we jump in, you might want this. You might want the slides. So if you want the slides, just text the word slides to 833-258-7547. Again, text keyword, just the word slides to 833-258-7547. That will get you these beautiful slides. They're beautifully designed, aren't they? Aren't they beautiful? Not only are they beautiful, but I always put coaching nuggets and tools in here. So not only will you will make your life a little bit easier in terms of your own note taking. You're going to have all the slides, so you're going to have all the tools and the questions that we go through. So let me give you like 20 seconds to get that. And I'm also going to, I notice I got a little bit of glare coming on the screen. So I'm going to make sure that we get rid of whatever that glare is really quickly. And then everything will be beautiful and perfect. All right. So let's jump in. What is emotional fog? Well, it's one of those 4 types, but we're going to do a deeper dive on it. Emotional fog is actually protective shutdown. Clients aren't actually being resistant. They're just numb. They're disconnected from their own emotional responses. They can't feel excited. They're not moved by wins. They're showing up, but something in them isn't online. And this is common in clients who have been holding it together for too long, navigating grief, navigating trauma, relational stress, chronic overstimulation. The emotional system powers down to protect them. So that's what's going on there. Oh, let me say hello just to a couple of people really quickly. Anna from New Jersey, Suzanne from Palm Desert, Lois from Battle Creek, Michigan, and Frank who's also presently in our Master's Academy. Good to see you. Okay, let's jump back in. So, how do you spot emotional fog? Because this is the thing is that we need to actually know what we're seeing. And a lot of times, especially with new coaches and everything else, they may not be very sensitive to what this actually looks like. Well, it looks like this. The client is showing up, but they're somehow emotionally disengaged from their goals. Wins don't seem to register, and setbacks don't trigger much response out of them either. They talk in neutral, disconnected language. Might say something like, it's fine, I don't know, it's whatever. That's someone who's emotionally numb. Energy is present, but there's no emotional spark behind it. And they're performing effort, but not feeling connected to the actual work. This is how we kind of spot it. But what does it actually sound like? Well, it sounds like this. Oh, wait. And you notice, sorry about that. I was leaving my last bullet behind. You notice they're not frustrated, they're just simply emotionally flat. So, this is how you spot it. What does it sound like? Because a lot of times it's going to come about in words. I don't feel like anything right now. What does that mean? Emotional fog. I should be excited, but I'm not. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's actually something inherently wrong with your client. It's just emotional fog. I'm just going through the motions. Some of you right now are probably thinking about people, maybe not your clients, but I'm certain that you have heard these things before. And that was pointing to some uncertainty and some emotional fog that was going on. You might have heard a couple of these. I feel like I'm on autopilot. You ever heard somebody say that? That's another indicator that someone's experiencing emotional fog. Now, like I said, why is it important to know? Why is it important to know? And why is it important to spot it? The reason why it's so important is because there's a lot of coaches who are making mistakes dealing with what is a fog issue and detecting something else, assuming something else. And so they're actually bringing the wrong thing to the table that is probably going to cause more harm than good. And it's not really going to help a client dig themselves out. So, with emotional fog in particular, the biggest mistake coaches make is trying to inspire them or trying to re energize the client. And that's not really going to work. I know it's going to be intimidating. It's going to be intimidating when you have a client sitting across from you and they have emotional fog. No one likes to go to a coaching session and their client seems to have no emotional energy, seemingly no motivation, no excitement, that everything's whatever, that they're just checked out. Like, I understand because I am a high energy person and I want to work with people who are just like, I want them to be more excited about their calling, their purpose, their goal, whatever we're driving at. I'm excited about their life. I don't want to be more excited about their life and their goals and purposes than they are. And so rather than being intimidated by it, and rather than just sitting there making the mistakes of re energizing your client, we have to do other things. But see, what a lot of clients who don't really know what they're dealing with will instead try to get the client to let me push them for goals. Let me push for motivation. Let me just try to do endless positive reframes on a client. But what's going to end up happening? It's going to backfire on you because that's not what they need. A couple of other things that coaches do. When they do all of these things, the response is going to be the client's going to actually feel unseen, or they're going to feel like the coach is pressuring them. Now, I teach coaches all the time. We do need to push our clients, absolutely, but there is going to be a time when you're too pushy, you're too intense, you're too positive, and it's actually going to work against you. Emotional fog isn't fixed by enthusiasm. I'm going to say that again. Emotional fog is not fixed by enthusiasm. I know some of you got that motivational cheerleading thing, and that can actually make things worse. So it's appropriately knowing what's happening and what your client needs. Emotional fog is actually softened by presence, actually being present, holding space with the client. So, what's that coaching approach to emotional fog look like? Well, what do you do? We kind of talked about what not to do. What do you do? Well, you don't try to fix it. Now, I know I got a lot of fixers in the room because we always have coaches who who come into coaching and they're big time fixers, and you're already trying to recover from the fact that you are a fixer. And I teach our coaches you can't be a fixer, you know. But when someone is in a numb emotional state, when they're checked out, man, there's some the fixer in us is like, I know I've got to help them. I've got to do something to fix the situation. I'm uncomfortable with it. They look miserable over there. And I'm going to tell you, they're not really miserable. They just aren't feeling much of anything right now. Like it's not depression, but it's not excitement either. It's kind of like middle. But the thing is that what they don't need is they don't need you to try to fix it. And that's going to be really challenging for some of you. Ask direct but low pressure questions. You want to give them space to actually not know what the answer is. Mirror what they do say without trying to dig deeper. Let them hear themselves. Remember when I talk about in our training, hold up the mirror, stay neutral. If they feel flat, don't try to manufacture meaning out of where their emotional state is. Just try to stay with them. And don't assume they need motivation when they actually might actually need rest. And make it safe to say, I feel nothing right now without apologizing for it. Now, let me give you some coaching questions so you know what these look like for someone who is actually experiencing emotional fog. Key coaching questions. What feels heavier than it should right now? Here's another question. What's usually life giving that hasn't felt like anything lately? Where are you showing up out of habit and not connection? That's a real key question right there. This is for the people who they start connecting and becoming aware of they're going through the motions. What's a small part of your life that used to feel clear, but lately it feels off? And what are you giving energy to that isn't giving anything back right now? These questions, or at least be some great key coaching questions that can help you get started. Let me give you a final thought though before we get out of here. Final thought: you don't need to pull clients out of emotional fog. I already said that a couple of times, but let me say it again for emphasis. You don't have to pull your clients out of emotional fog. Okay, you just need to keep the connection open until they find their way back. Coaching, again, isn't about intensity, it's about presence. It's about holding space with your client. And presence is what most people never get. There's very few people who will stay with them, hang with them in the moment, hold the space for them so that they can process. Because let me tell you this, all of their friends and all of their family are trying to figure out what's wrong with them and trying to fix it rather than just staying in it with them. And that's the gift that we're going to give them as coaches. If you want the slides, don't forget to text the word slides to 833 258 7547. That's the word slides, keyword slides to 833 258 7547. Now, for those of you who have not gotten trained and certified yet, let me just pay the bills really quick. Let me tell you about our life coach certification course. First off, our program is completely self-paced, but it also includes Tuesday night live coach training. Self-paced is great. It's going to take you about 30 hours to knock all of that out between watching the lectures online and putting the assignments in and taking the exam. When you complete that on your own schedule, because what we came out of the gate with as pioneers in online coaching training all the way back in 2014 is that we wanted to create a program that was affordable, but also would also work inside of your schedule. Because I know pretty much everybody who's coming into coaching has a life. You're already working 40, 50 hours a week. You've got children. You've got a lot of other things. You got a lot of different irons in the fire. And most coach training doesn't really fit your own schedule. So that's why we wanted to make it accessible 24/7 across any device and anywhere you go training that also doesn't break the bank. Um, the curriculum for the self-paced that also has an optional live Tuesday night coach training is Foundations of Coaching. We introduce you into coaching, help you understand what the difference between coaching is and all those other coaching modalities. We start off session 2 showing you what an actual coaching session looks like, and we give you all of those pieces and the nuts and bolts of a dynamic coaching session. Sessions 3 and 4 are how to listen on a transformational level. We show you how to move from level 1 listening all the way into intuitive listening to avoid the biases that you have and what are the things that you should be listening for in a coaching session. That next session, that should say session 5, how to help your clients get extraordinary results. That is all about helping your clients set goals, achieve them, accountability, all of those things. Session 6 is how to ask powerful questions. It's not about the holy grail of a question, but questions are the transformational tool that we utilize to help people become aware of their own biases, their own lenses, and to help them get free and to get on track. Session 7 is how to establish a growing coaching practice. Most schools don't say anything about the business side of coaching. This is a primer on how you become a six-figure coach. Our curriculum also includes live coaching practice. That's what we do every few weeks. We'll take a Tuesday night, and all we do is practice. That way, you can come in, practice with a practice client, and get feedback from your peers. This also includes in each one of these sessions live Q&As on Tuesday nights as well. So that way you're not out there doing it on your own. You can come here, connect, and get your questions answered. This is 30 hours of training. It also includes the optional live Tuesday night coach training. It also includes your opportunity to connect with other coaches globally. We also give you a welcome pack. We're going to save you hundreds of dollars and at least a 100 hours of development by giving you a welcome pack that is fully editable. You can change the wording in it. You can change the branding, all of the stuff for the coaching agreement, confidentiality, all the things that you'll need when you are onboarding a client. All of that is in there and saving you a lot of time and a lot of money. You're also going to get the coaching tool starter pack, which is 6 tools that you'll start with, a free listing on lifecoachmatch.com, and also your coaching certificate. It's a $3.5 thousand value. And not only are you going to come into coaching mastery, increase your credibility, live into your purpose, step into time and financial freedom, but you're going to do all of that without accruing thousands of dollars of debt. It's $195 one-time payment that is doable for anyone. And so if you want to get enrolled, it'll take you about 90 seconds to enroll. Look inside the description of this video. You can click in there, get enrolled in like 90 seconds, and you are in and going. Thanks for your patience tonight. I'm like burning up in here and everything else. So I went like super casual. I was outside working in the sun and the heat just got me. And then I was just like, coming in here. So it's pretty hot. So I did the best that I possibly can. It's like 80 something degrees in here today. So I did the best that I could to make an efficient use of our time. And so if you came in late, don't worry. We're going to put this on replay. You can come right back and you can watch it, or even the link that you clicked, you can just hit rewind on it after it completes posting and you can watch it. Let me say hello to a couple of people. Dan joining us from Indiana. And Mika says, thank you. I needed this. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys all immensely. Make sure that you get enrolled. It'll take you 90 seconds. Tuesday night coach training is tomorrow night. You get enrolled. You can join us even tomorrow night live for that optional time together. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your week and take care.